Good morning, laddies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Toxin Was in My Hero Academia. I did one couple of years back, like the old one, and some of you guys, I do listen to your opinions, and like in the comments of Hawks, this guy is not gay. Thanks. I understand that. I wanted to like just clarify that up before we get into this what if, because the way that they did it was basically literally he used one of his arm thing to reach out. Of course, Hawks accepted it, and when he copied, so that's how they did it, not brutally. Okay? So now, let's get into the what if. Before I go ahead, there's actually is a girlfriend for him that I randomly picked, was her. Yeah, I don't remember if she was the sister or... Yeah, so I just picked her to be his bride in this what if. So, yeah. So basically, now let's begin. Toxin was born human with symbiote powers. Like, basically, he can turn into slime, or like basically how symbiotes usually do, without needing a host. That's what it is. So at the age of 15, or actually at age 3, there was a girl in his class that had so much interest in him. So yeah, she basically went and told him that he had interest, or no, she had interest in him. That kind of shocked. He had that face. Like the most cutest girl. Oh. With asking him out. When they grow older, or when they grow up, they would rather they're married. So yeah. Let me remind you, those two are the same age, so they can grow. So then when he's a teenager, he goes to UA, just like how his girlfriend is. And and I'm actually, in this what if, just in this what if, Hawks has a sister. Just in this what if, that would be her. Yeah. So, yeah. So then she goes to UA with him, and then yeah. So then I'm skipping the internships things. I'm skipping all the way to like All Might versus All for one thing. But there is one. And so the during the USJ, the Nomu decided to charge in because the Sharky-san commanded him to attack, and the Nomu walked or runs up to Toxin. Yeah, where is he? Where is he? I have pictures like this one. So Toxin, as of course, the Nomu grabs the Toxin's head, not ripped it off of his body, pulled it closer to hit to its face. A tongue, yeah, basically like making out thing. As he was so embarrassed. As the Toxin had the ability of melting. As a Nomu, after he was done making out with Toxin, the entire body of Nomu was disintegrated. So yeah, his tongue, Toxin's tongue, is basically like the equivalent to Shiraki-sen's decay quirk. It's not permanently on. He can shut it off too. But in that instance, he had it turned on. Yeah. So, but that girl, she was like, that is just weird. Yeah. And he didn't realize as he turns it off. He's unaffected by his. When it's on, he's unaffected by it. So, yeah. You killed my Nomu! Yeah, so I will kill you, as Shiraki-sen says that. As he lunged forward, trying to decay the goop. As Shiraki-sen's entire body was covered in the tar thing. As he's trying to get out of it. But then So Shirakisan, instead of looking like this, was actually bonded with the this, and guess who's in control? Toxin is in control of. Yeah. As he turns around, he activates the decay quirk on the villains. Yeah. So, but he did copy after they got separated. Because he also copied the Shiraki-sen's memories. And powers. Sorry, I was itching my eye. So, yeah. So then yeah. It was just weird. And G decides, okay, right? As she lowers her eyes, in her head, she thinks that she's ready to flirt with him more. And yeah. Plus, yeah. So then after that incident, the sports festival thing, before the sports festival, when Toxin walked with her to school, she told him that if when we're not married, you'll always be allowed to use my body. As he was so embarrassed, yeah. So then the the Toxin tells her, okay. Eh? So then he walks away. So he walks with her because he's embarrassed. She knows that she embarrassed him because his face is all pink. Yeah. So after the sports festival, it happens like normally, but so then what else? Oh yes. Now we're on to All Might versus All for One. Or actually, his internship was with her brother, or Hawks. So Hawks is like, so you're the one that is dating my sister. She might be a handful, but how are you holding up with her? And then me being the symbiote thing is. Eh? So then, yeah. And he says, huh. Yeah. So that's what it is. Now the All Might versus All for One. And All Might, or no, All for One is gonna shoot a beam of light, and All for One is about to get killed. But Toxin came through as he needed to borrow a certain body. As he grabs the Nomu's body and he rampages through the city. Or actually he he went full bore right in front of All for One's attack. As All for One beam of light when it hit Toxin instead of All Might. As All for One's like, huh, you survived my laser. Huh. I felt worse. And yeah, so he basically ran, and he actually decided to do something that's crazy. He he basically did decay the Nomu after he left, and he went right into All for One's body, like literally consuming him. As All for One is screaming. Bang, bang, bang. As he shoots off a laser attacks at random directions. As All for One. So Toxin used his own power as everyone is like knows what he's or doesn't know what he's gonna do, but he does know what to do. So what does he do? He uses All for One's arm, went right into All for One's chest, and ripped out his own heart and crushed it right in front of All for One's face. And plus his quirk, or the Toxin's symbiote body thing, he went in and destroyed the immortality. As All for One's like, no, as he leaves the host body thing. As he lands, as he says, huh, score 1 for the heroes, score none for the villains. Yeah. As the Nezu actually, or of course, Mr. Aizawa tells Nezu that the only person that has all the information is Toxin. You have to go to Toxin. So, Principal Nezu tells him, or what do you know so far? Well, I do know that the Shirakisin was just one of the projects things and all that stuff. So then they start talking, and he remembers through all of the memories that were all for one, the Nomu and Shirakisin, and knows. You're pretty useful for a symbiote. Yeah. So then they are now 18, so I'm doing the time skip to the future thing, because Overhaul whole arc didn't even happen, and the Quark Doctor was in custody before he gave All for One's quirk to Shiraki-sen. So yeah, basically, so now it's so he so Toxin and her had their first child. They got married and then they did the deed. And the one that I was telling you about? Yeah. So this is their daughter. This one is their daughter. She has the same powers as her parents. And yeah. So then of course he spends time with them. But one day someone tried to kidnap them, or actually kidnapped every student and forced them, literally forced them to go. I don't want to say it, but be slaves, basically. Yeah. So I'll just give you a hint, or what I will be talking about when I say that. Imagine if Momo was enslaved by a guy. He's like a villains, and he did the deed to her on her pregnant thing, yeah, with mark or drawings on her body and all that stuff. It's basically like that. Or the other example would be leaving her outside with marks all over her body, choke collar on her. Yeah. So yeah, but when Toxin heard that his friends were in danger because Hawks told him, as Toxin didn't take that lightly. So what does he do? He basically saw where they're gonna go. He knew which one, hun. As he picks up or actually, he used a tracker on on a correct ship thing. Because when they first met, when everybody first met him, when he gave them a shake, like a handshake thing, and nice to meet you all, and all that stuff, he actually infected the entire Class 1A, not like making them throw up or anything, but they basically, yeah. So he knew which ship. So he goes in. He uses his long arm. He grabs the ship from So he hoists it over her to where he was at. And yeah. He picks it up out of the water even. Let me remind you. It was bigger than the entire Iron Ling Titanic. Like, you could have put 2 Titanics on top of each other. That was how big it was. And from a tip of its head to like front of the ship all the way towards the back of a ship. Yeah. And it was so big you could put 3 of those on top of each other, actually. So he's lifting about let me do my math real quick. He's basically, or I just did my math thing. On here, it says, like, I think that's weight. What? Or, no. Height? So, basically, if I had to make a prediction, the weight would have been, like, probably way over. And, yeah. His weight number is 400, but times 4 equals 16,000. Like, let's do it here. Ready? 400 times 4. Or 16. Yeah. So then, let me get back into it. So, yeah. So he is carrying basically 4 times as much. So with just one hand, he basically hoisted the ship out of the water, threw it. Yeah. It was not that heavy. It was basically light as a feather to his, yeah. So he lifts it over his head, lands or puts it right on the shoreline, and then when the Hawks showed up, or actually Hawks was there, but an Endeavor. And when Endeavor saw what Toxin did, or all the pro heroes showed up before, and they could not believe what this kid just did. He pulled the ship out of the water with just one hand, lifting it over his head, and put it right on the shores. Yeah. So, basically, Mountain Lady wants to, like, try to see how much he could wait, or how much she can hold him, or no, so that he can hold her. Or yeah. So then and I forget their names. I'm not gonna say what their actual names of the people that tried to turn his friends ends into the slaves one. Yeah. You don't want to know what they. So the toxin beats the entire cruise or mates of So he remembers they're downstairs. What does he do? He walks out, or he basically uses one of his tendrils, or actually, he could feel the bomb is about to, in about 20 minutes. So he had no time. So what does he do? He basically uses his. So he breaks the prisoners out, and they're all free, and then all that stuff. But it was a radioactive hum. So he tells his friends he literally told his friends, his wife and his daughter, to I'll see you again very soon. Okay? As his daughter doesn't want him to leave it. So then he used his own power because he needs all the momentum. So what does he do? He transforms the entire cannon. Or no, actually, the puts it back in the boat thing, and he basically turned into the entire ship as he goes through. And 10, 9, or no, in the engine room, there's a little device thing. It says 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. As the And Toxin and says, I hope that I guessed right. Boom! As explosion of a nuclear bomb went off. But yeah. As everyone saw their friend get sacrificed. Yeah. As a puddle of goo that's not red, don't worry. Or actually, it was made out of goo. No? So he ends up basically lifting, or when he reformed, as he says, I'm not dead yet. As he, yeah. So then he goes to, as he swam back, or actually, let's say there was a shark. Was right coming right towards him, but the goo, or like he turns into goo, as he swam with a shark. Basically, yeah. So yeah. As as everyone was convinced that he died, including his wife. But his sister still believes that he's still alive. Because in this alternate timeline, symbiotes can detect who lives or who dies thing. So, so she waits for him for 1 night, as her mother tells her that it's almost going to be past your bedtime. Maybe he's not coming. Maybe he actually died. As a shark, as he swam, they see something in the waters. And that had a red fin. As most of the, or actually students were waiting. And plus Seal didn't or actually did, and tried to cover his body. There was nothing. But then Captain Seal so now they're like, okay, he's dead, actually dead, right? As his sister or his daughter was He's not dead. And I could sense him. He's right over there. He's swimming right towards us. As a red fin comes out. As as a red goo comes out off of the shark, jumps out of the water, or jumps right out of the, or off the as he lands. And so did you miss me? As everyone's jaws dropped, everyone couldn't believe this kid or this guy could survive everything. As Hawks is impressed that someone able to survive a nuke. No. Because he has also absorption, so he absorbs the nuclear radiation and turns it into his actual fuel. Basically like his body fuels itself. And his own sister says, I knew you were alive to him. I knew it. So, yeah. So then his son's like, or no, his mother is, no, actually him tells his daughter that, yep, no matter what, I'll always be here for you and your mother. Yeah. So then everybody's like, man, no one could ever survive that explosion. Yeah. So because and the shark was like, hey, thanks for the hitch riding thing. Oh yeah, before. Maybe as the shark swims up a little bit, as he gives the meat to him. Okay, so thank you for your purchase. Yeah. So, yeah. As everybody's like confused of why this guy. Yeah. So, yeah. Just make sure. Now, this is the end of the what if. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, comment, and do all that stuff. And when you're down there, tell me from scale from 1 to 10, or before, have you watched the Meg 2? Have you ever watched this one? And okay. If you haven't, go watch it in the movie theaters. And then look back at this video and say on your opinions. And so, bye.